How are y'all doing? 11 of my 100-day meditation, and it is again one of these days. I intend to start the video in like the 11 o'clock in the morning vein instead of 2:30 in the morning at the later end of the day, but that'll come in time. Regardless, whatever. So yeah, it's a fairly full day today, and I decided tonight for my second hour meditation, just kind of lie on my back and relax and breathe deeply into my belly. The belly is where the second chakra, or according to Chinese medicine, the lower dantian is, which is a very, it's like a physical battery, an energy battery basically, or a storehouse of physical energy and endurance. And so I just kind of lied on my back with either my feet on the floor, my knees up, breathing into my lower abdomen, or occasionally I would hug my knees and breathe into like the whole pelvic floor, began to open up, and the pelvic floor and then the abdomen, and then let it contract and just breathe that way. And felt considerable release, and actually to the point even of like my gut, my intestines shifting. I could even, gurgling would happen, and a definite physical release that kept happening, as well as brain release. I was studying some physics stuff for a student of mine prior to that, and my brain had gotten fairly tense. And so just lying there, breathing on my back, just my stomach would release, and my head would release, and, back and forth and back and forth. So, very interesting experience. I know the gut and the brain are tied together. It was nice to get that reinforcement. In doing it, actually, a lot of chills began to surface, especially my upper body. A lot of just like tingling and cold sensations all throughout. Um, and my legs at times. You know that sensation when you um, have, like, when your leg's asleep and then it wakes back up and you get that pins and needles kind of sensation going through your leg? It was very similar to that. Not quite as strong in the pins and needles, but definitely like an energetic, um, like, awakening kind of sense, or like a surge of energy through my legs. Maybe not surge is the right word, but definitely an energy flow through my legs. Um, Almost uncomfortable at first as I was lying there, and brought up a lot of tension in my hip, waist, pelvis, first chakra area. But the more that I just kind of allowed it to be and just kept bringing my attention to my breathing, the easier it got to handle. And the more that would happen, the more releases that would happen. It was kind of a back and forth. And like I said, I mentioned that I had the chills all over my body, especially the upper body. But probably the last 5 or so minutes of the meditation, a deep warmth began to surface in my lower abdomen, to the point actually where my lower back touching the ground got physically, like actually physically hot. Um, and a warmth is in my lower belly that I can still feel to a certain extent right now, even though I still have some chills going on, which I'm sure had I continued, um, hello, I'm sure had I continued, would have expanded more and more throughout my entire body. In fact, I heard a story. The gentleman who heads up the yoga studio that I go to, his name's Ilchi Lee, and he talks about a story once where he was meditating in the snow, and just as a personal challenge, and he decided to just meditate for a while, and he got to this point where he was like, okay, it's getting pretty friggin' cold. It's time to get up, and he couldn't move, and this rush of fear surged through him, and okay, this is it. I'm about to die. I mean, I can't move. I'm in the snow. I guess hypothermia has started to overtake my body or whatever. And he just completely surrendered. He said, if I'm going to die right here, then I'm going to die right here, and that is what it is. And he completely surrendered. And when he did, his entire body relaxed, and this warmth just started in his lower abdomen and just grew throughout his entire body. actually to the point where he said the snow started melting around him and steam started coming off, and everything woke back up in his body, and he was fully functional, and his body was warm even though he was in the middle of like this packet of snow. And I definitely, in fact, as I'm saying that, I'm getting chills right now. Like, I know that there's a truth to that, that we have an ability. In fact, there's other stories as well that people can, with their mind, significantly increase their own body temperature and create energy flow moving through it at will, regardless of whatever the outside weather circumstances happen to be. I know that's possible, and it was nice to kind of experience that today, that beginning of that really genuine, true warmth waking up in my lower abdomen. So, yeah, cool experience. I also started playing a little bit with this idea of, um, when you watch like an inspirational movie, and there's the underdog, starts winning and doing his thing or whatever, or her thing, and this heart, this awakening, this like warm fuzzy in your heart starts to kind of awaken, and this vibrational thing happens. A chill runs up your spine. That like yeah kind of feeling. Um, I believe that we can generate that at will. So I'm playing with that a little bit the past couple days, but tonight as well, just started really bringing my awareness to my chest and to that piece of my heart, and just creating that sense on my own, and just kind of letting the warm glow expand. And so I play with that a little bit tonight. My intention is to do that some over the next few days as well, and just kind of see what happens. But yeah, that's my experience today. So simple and short video. Nobody's on right now, so I guess this will just be mainly for replay viewers. And feel free, though, if you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, to type in the chat box if you have any questions or anything, and I can respond. And until tomorrow, much love, take care, have a phenomenal day. Bye-bye.